Picture this. You're settled into your favorite spot on the couch, watching the show that's defined your Thursday nights for years. You know every character's quirks, every running joke, every relationship dynamic. Then, one episode, someone new shows up, a random cousin, a surprise kid, or some edgy newcomer nobody asked for. And just like that, the magic starts dying. For decades, network executives have looked at successful shows and thought, you know what this needs? More people. Spoiler alert, it never needs more people. But that doesn't stop them from adding random family members, aging up babies into wisecracking kids, or introducing replacement characters when actors leave. This is part 2 of our series on characters that absolutely wrecked beloved TV shows, the ones who turned must-watch television into, maybe I'll just catch up on laundry instead. If you missed part 1, we've dropped the link in the description. But first, smash that like button and hit subscribe. It helps us reach more fans who still haven't forgiven networks for what they did to their favorite shows. Now, let's count down the characters who should have stayed off our screens. Number 10. Tori Scott, Saved by the Bell. Saturday mornings in the early 90s belonged to Saved by the Bell. Before anyone cared about NBA Inside stuff or whatever preachy cartoon was teaching kids about recycling, Bayside High delivered everything a generation needed. Zach's schemes, Slater's mullet, Jesse's caffeine-fueled breakdowns, and Kelly's girl-next-door charm that made everyone forget how ridiculous the plots actually were. Then came the Tori episodes, a phrase that still makes Gen X fans flinch like they just heard nails on a chalkboard. When Tiffany Thiessen and Elizabeth Berkley temporarily left due to contract disputes, producers panicked harder than Zach trying to explain his way out of detention. Their solution? Introduce Tori Scott, played by Leanna Creel, a leather-jacketed biker girl who was supposed to add edge to Bayside like dropping a Hot Topic into a mall full of Gap stores. On paper, she had potential. In reality, she became the symbol of everything wrong with the show's final season. Tori appeared in roughly 10 episodes, debuting as the new girl, and vanishing after graduation with zero explanation. Fans never warmed to her because she replaced Kelly and Jesse without anyone acknowledging it happened, like your favorite restaurant suddenly serving completely different food while pretending nothing changed. One week, Zach was pining for Kelly. The next, he was making out with Tori, and nobody at Bayside seemed to notice. Even worse, when Kelly and Jesse returned for graduation, Tori just evaporated. No goodbye scene, no mention of where she went. She got erased from the yearbook, which in a show about high school is basically character assassination. The Tori episodes remain a bizarre footnote in Saved by the Bell history, the TV equivalent of a fever dream everyone wants to forget. Honestly though, Leanna Creel deserves credit for walking into an impossible situation. She was trying to replace 2 fan favorites simultaneously while wearing leather jackets in California heat, and she still managed to create something memorable. Was she Jesse or Kelly? No, but you could see the effort, like a substitute teacher desperately trying to win over a class that's already counting down to the regular teacher's return. Number 9. Nellie Bertram, The Office. The Office perfected awkward comedy from 2005 to 2011, while America transitioned from flip phones to iPhones and pretended to understand what going viral meant. Michael Scott's disastrous management of Dunder Mifflin gave us cringe, heart, and some of the best ensemble comedy ever filmed. Jim and Pam's slow burn romance, Dwight's beat-fueled insanity, Michael's delusional confidence, it all worked perfectly. Then Steve Carell left after season 7, and NBC faced a crisis bigger than Phyllis catching Angela and Dwight in the warehouse. Who could possibly fill Michael's shoes? They tried a parade of guest managers, eventually landing on Andy, but something fundamental was missing. Enter Nellie Bertram, portrayed by Catherine Tate, a brash British manager who literally hijacked the Scranton branch for a few episodes. Nellie was supposed to bring chaotic energy. Instead, she sent fans scrambling for the exit faster than Kevin sprinting to the vending machine. The problem wasn't Tate's talent. She's legitimately brilliant. The problem was everything else. Her humor was abrasive where Michael's was oblivious. Her confidence felt forced where his felt earned. And honestly, viewers were still grieving Steve Carell's departure. Watching someone new try to command that office felt like replacing your favorite worn-in t-shirt with a leather jacket. Technically, it's clothing, but completely wrong for the occasion. Her storylines, like stealing Andy's manager position, felt manufactured rather than organic. By this point, fans were already nervous about the show's future without Carell. Nellie's arrival confirmed their worst fears. The series recovered somewhat in its final season, but Nellie remains the poster child for how not to introduce new characters to an established ensemble. That said, Catherine Tate wasn't phoning it in. She committed fully, bringing the sharp wit that made her a UK comedy legend and her Doctor Who appearances so memorable. You could see flashes of genuine brilliance. The issue was never her skill, it was trying to wedge her into a space Steve Carell had perfectly filled for 7 years. Number 8. Stephanie Mills, All in the Family. We're talking about what happens when groundbreaking television gets soft. Few sitcoms shook America like All in the Family. Archie Bunker's Queen's household was a cultural battlefield where America argued with itself every week and somehow made it entertaining. Archie was the lovable bigot, Edith was his dingbat, but secretly the show's moral compass. Gloria bridged generations while meathead Michael clashed with Archie over feminism, civil rights, and everything else, tearing the country apart. The Bunker living room wasn't just a TV set. It was where uncomfortable conversations happened with laugh tracks. By 1978, though, the show was aging. Rob Reiner and Sally Struthers had moved on, probably to escape Archie's dinner table politics. Instead of rapping gracefully, producers decided Archie and Edith should adopt 9-year-old Stephanie Mills, played by Danielle Brisebois. Suddenly, All in the Family transformed from sharp social satire into Archie learns parenting again. Stephanie wasn't a terrible character. She was smart, precocious, had solid moments. But she didn't belong in this show. It was like dropping a Disney princess into a Martin Scorsese film. She softened Archie, transforming him from cranky culture warrior into sitcom grandpa. Instead of Archie wrestling with a changing America, we got Archie tucking in a kid and singing lullabies. The tone shifted from biting commentary to sentimental family moments, and longtime fans checked out faster than guests fleeing an Archie dinner party. Brisebois had genuine talent. She later proved it with an Academy Award nomination as a songwriter in 2015 for Lost Stars from Begin Again. But Stephanie's presence marked the moment All in the Family stopped being revolutionary and started being just another family sitcom. Like watching Muhammad Ali decide to become a mime instead. Looking back, watching her as a kid on this show feels bittersweet. You can see the spark, but the material boxed her in like forcing a talented opera singer to only perform elevator music. Number 7. Pam Tucker, The Cosby Show. The Cosby Show dominated Thursday nights in the 80s like nothing else. America collectively ignored their phones because the Huxtables made family dinner look more appealing than Miami Vice car chases. Cliff cracked dad jokes between delivering babies. Claire balanced a law career with family life while wearing heels because apparently work-life balance came with better footwear in the 80s. The kids, Sondra, Denise, Theo, Vanessa, and Rudy, juggled school, sass, and life lessons that somehow made you forget you were learning about integrity and responsibility. The Cosby Show was wholesome, but sharp, with rhythm that made the Huxtable brownstone feel like a real home you desperately wanted an invitation to visit. By season 7, when everyone's mum was buying shoulder pads and America was debating Pepsi versus Coke like it mattered, the show introduced Pam Tucker, played by Erica Alexander. Pam was Claire's cousin's daughter, taken in by the Huxtables after her mother moved away. The concept was simple: bring in fresh blood, add street smarts to balance the Huxtables' cushy Brooklyn lifestyle. In theory, fine. In practice, it screamed, "We're out of ideas, so here's a new character with attitude." Pam's arrival shifted focus away from the core family viewers had invested in for 6 seasons. Suddenly, we were watching the Pam Tucker Show starring the Huxtables as confused supporting players. Instead of Theo navigating college or Rudy growing up, we got entire storylines about Pam's friends Lance and Charmaine. It felt like writers were quietly piloting a spin-off inside the Cosby Show's shell because nothing says honoring a beloved family like demoting them to guest stars in their own home. Viewers didn't want the Huxtable cinematic universe expanding, they wanted the Huxtables. Making it worse, Erica Alexander is genuinely talented. She'd later shine on Living Single. But Pam never felt organic to the Huxtable story. She was less family member and more last season patch job, like trying to fix a perfectly good sweater with duct tape. Instead of refreshing the show, she reminded everyone that the Huxtables' glory days were over. Number 6. Maggie Drummond, Diff'rent Strokes.
I knew you can do it. Give me 5. Yeah, right on.
Diff'rent Strokes was a cultural touchstone in the late 70s and early 80s. Arnold and Willis Jackson, two Harlem kids adopted by a wealthy Manhattan widower, navigating life in a Park Avenue penthouse while America was still figuring out how to discuss race on primetime television. Philip Drummond was the sweet, wealthy dad. Kimberly was the kind big sister. Willis was the initially rebellious older brother, and Gary Coleman's precocious Arnold made "What you talking about, Willis?" one of the decade's most iconic catchphrases. By 1984, while America was busy moonwalking to Michael Jackson, producers decided Mr. Drummond needed a love interest. Enter Maggie McKinney, played first by Dixie Carter, then Mary Ann Mobley. Maggie married Philip and moved in with her son Sam, creating a blended family dynamic. Sounds fine on paper, like a Brady Bunch reboot with more money and fewer kids. In reality, it wrecked the show's chemistry faster than a disastrous blind date. Diff'rent Strokes had always been about the unusual but loving bond between Arnold, Willis, Kimberly, and Mr. D. Then Maggie showed up with Sam, and everything felt off. Even Gary Coleman admitted the stepmom dynamic hurt the series. When your star openly says, "Yeah, this was a mistake," you know things went sideways. Like getting a 1-star Yelp review from your own employee. Dixie Carter was talented. She'd later prove it with a stellar run on designing women. But in the Diff'rent Strokes universe, Maggie felt less like a fresh chapter and more like the beginning of the end. The TV equivalent of jumping the shark. To her credit, Carter brought warmth and presence, even when storylines didn't match her abilities. Designing women fans know how magnetic she could be with proper material. It's almost frustrating thinking how much better Maggie might have worked on a different show, like watching a Broadway star forced to perform at Chuck E. Cheese. Alright, we're halfway through, so now it's your turn. Which of these characters do you remember despising? Drop a comment below, and don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe before your favorite show suddenly adopts a random kid. Now, let's get back to the list because trust me, the worst offenders are still coming. Number 5. Dawn Summers, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Buffy redefined supernatural television from 1997 to 2003 while the world was figuring out what this Google thing was about. Joss Whedon's creation mixed teen angst with vampire slaying, balancing horror, comedy, and heartbreak like a supernatural Swiss Army knife. Buffy, Willow, Xander, and Giles became found family while big bads like the Master, Angelus, and Glory raised stakes every season. Then, Season 5 dropped a bombshell. Buffy suddenly had a younger sister. Dawn Summers, portrayed by Michelle Trachtenberg, literally materialized into the story as a mystical key made flesh because apparently the show needed a sibling more than coherent explanations. The show hand-waved it with magical retconning, basically cosmic gaslighting. For many fans, it was a bridge too far. The problem wasn't Trachtenberg's performance. She played the role as written. But Dawn was whiny, constantly in peril, and often dragged plots down like supernatural dead weight. Audiences went from "Who is she?" to "Why is she still here?" in record time. The tonal shift was jarring. A show about chosen family suddenly became about actual family, and not everyone was buying it. Especially when that family member appeared out of thin air. But when Dawn worked, she really worked. Like a broken clock being right twice a day, except more emotionally devastating. Her grief and complicated relationship with Buffy gave Trachtenberg space to show genuine vulnerability. It's easy to criticize the character, but those moments remind you why Whedon kept her around. She wasn't just a mystical MacGuffin, she was family baggage with supernatural consequences. Trachtenberg went on to solid career success, notably in films like Eurotrip and later Gossip Girl, proving she had range beyond supernatural sibling duty. Number 4. Billie Jenkins, Charmed. For 7 seasons, while America debated whether flip phones or digital cameras mattered more, Charmed was all about the Halliwell sisters. Prue, Piper, Phoebe, and later Paige fought demons, juggled love lives, and saved innocents from the source of all evil. It was campy, dramatic, and at its best, a fun blend of witchcraft and sisterhood that made every woman want magical powers and better hair. In Season 8, at the network's request to revitalize the series and possibly launch a spin-off because apparently the WB thought magic shows were the new reality TV, newcomer Billie Jenkins joined the cast. The role went to a then lesser-known Kaley Cuoco years before The Big Bang Theory would make her a household name. Billie was a young witch mentored by the sisters who gradually became the show's center. Suddenly, the Halliwells were supporting players in their own series, like getting demoted to backup singers in your own band. Fans revolted faster than a demon facing the power of 3. Billie wasn't just a sidekick, she hijacked the narrative like a supernatural coup. Entire arcs focused on her missing sister Christy instead of the power of 3 because apparently "we hired a new actress" wasn't magical enough for writers. For viewers who'd invested in the Halliwells for nearly a decade, it felt like ordering your favorite meal and getting someone else's leftovers instead. Charmed ended as The Billie Show featuring the Halliwell sisters as guest stars. Cuoco would achieve sitcom superstardom, proving she had talent and probably better scripts. But in Charmed, Billie Jenkins is remembered as the character who broke the spell. Still, you have to admire Kaley Cuoco's hustle. Fresh off 8 Simple Rules and before Big Bang Theory fame, you could already see the comedic timing and screen presence that would make her millions. Billie just wasn't the right fit, like a talented singer performing the wrong song at the wrong concert. Number 3. Andy Keaton, Family Ties. Landing at number 3, Family Ties was the quintessential Reagan-era sitcom. Stephen and Elise Keaton were ex-hippies raising kids in suburban Ohio, while their son Alex, brought to life by Michael J. Fox, became the face of young Republican ambition. The clash between liberal parents and conservative kids gave the show its bite, and Fox's charm made it essential viewing. Andy was born in Season 3, portrayed as a baby by twins until Season 5. Cute at first, but by the next season, he'd been magically aged into a wisecracking preschooler. Classic cousin Oliver syndrome. We covered that phenomenon in a previous video, links in the description. Andy disrupted the balance. Adding a precocious kid didn't deepen the show, it diluted it. Instead of sharp political banter, we got cutesy punchlines. The show veered into child-centric humor, altering the sibling dynamic between Alex, Mallory, and Jennifer that fans had loved. Additionally, the show's move from Thursday to Sunday nights after Season 5 corresponded with a ratings nosedive from number 2 to number 17. Coincidence? Probably not. Brian Bonsall continued acting through the show's final 3 seasons and later pursued music, though he faced personal struggles in adulthood. Worth noting, he was just a kid actor thrown into a cultural juggernaut's final act. Looking back, there was something almost endearing about his Andy. The failure wasn't his. It was writers leaning too hard into cute when the show thrived on sharp generational clashes that made it special. Number 2. Randy Pearson, That 70s Show. We're down to the final 2, and at number 2, from 1998 to 2006, That 70s Show captured basement hangouts, crushes, and burnouts of small-town Wisconsin teens. Eric, Donna, Kelso, Jackie, Hyde, and Fez were lovable idiots navigating love triangles, polyester fashion, and Red's endless dumbass insults, making the 70s look cooler than the actual 90s. But when Topher Grace left after Season 7, the show faced a crisis bigger than running out of beer in Red's garage. Their solution? Introduce Randy Pearson, played by Josh Myers in Season 8, a laid-back record store guy who dated Donna and cracked one-liners. Problem was, fans hated him instantly, like introducing a new friend to your established group and watching everyone's faces drop in disappointment. Internally, the character emerged after Myers nearly got cast as Eric. Instead, Randy was crafted as a fresh addition, appearing in 21 of 22 final season episodes. Eric made a brief uncredited return in the finale, basically a cameo in his own show. Randy was meant to blend Eric's sarcasm with Kelso's goofiness. Instead, he came off like a focus group's idea of cool basement guy, all the personality of store-brand soda. He lacked chemistry with the gang, and worse, his romance with Donna felt like an insult to 7 years of Eric and Donna investment. Even the cast has admitted Season 8 was a mess, like watching your favorite band try continuing after the lead singer quit. To this day, some fans blame Randy for killing That 70s Show. It's not entirely Josh Myers' fault. Nobody could have replaced Eric. But Randy remains sitcom history's cautionary tale about force-feeding fans a replacement character they never wanted. Number 1. Chachi Arcola, Happy Days.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, I love papaya. I love pineapple, all that sounds good. You and me.
And here we are at number 1. Few sitcoms loomed larger than Happy Days. From the mid-70s through the early 80s, it turned nostalgia into ratings gold, making Milwaukee in the 50s look cooler than Studio 54 in the 70s. Richie Cunningham, Fonzie, Joni, Potsy, and Ralph Malph made the 1950s feel like the coolest era to grow up in. But network meddling knows no limits, especially when merchandising money's involved. Introduced in Season 5 in 1977, Chachi Arcola, Fonzie's cousin, played by Scott Baio, debuted as a wide-eyed teen with a crush on Joni. His popularity surged faster than a jukebox firing up. Baio reportedly received thousands of fan letters weekly because apparently teenage girls in the late 70s had a thing for guys who said,
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
At first, he was just another teen crushing on Joni, but producers quickly pushed him to the forefront, warping the show's balance like a bad DJ hijacking a great party. Chachi wasn't terrible, but he wasn't strong enough to carry entire storylines. Yet there he was everywhere, like glitter after a craft project. The spin-off Joni Loves Chachi ran from 1982 to 1983, following the couple to Chicago because apparently America desperately needed Happy Days without the Cunninghams or Arnold's drive-in. Despite early interest from being a Happy Days continuation, it got cancelled after 17 episodes and is now cited as a major TV flop, the television equivalent of New Coke, except less successful. Scott Baio had a long TV career afterward with Charles in Charge and countless cameos. But to many fans, Chachi will always be remembered as one of the characters who helped run Happy Days off the rails, like being remembered as the person who suggested karaoke at a funeral. It wasn't his fault producers leaned on him too hard. Sometimes popularity can be its own curse, and Chachi became the cautionary tale about what happens when networks prioritize merchandising over storytelling. And there you have it, 10 characters that absolutely wrecked beloved television shows, the TV equivalent of that one friend who always suggests changing the restaurant after everyone's already ordered. Which characters did we miss? Which one hurt the most? Tell us in the comments below, and don't blame us if this list brought back painful memories of shows that jumped the shark. Be sure to smash that like button and subscribe for more nostalgic TV deep dives, where we examine everything that went wrong with your favorite shows. Thanks for watching.